Hey everybody, it's so good to see you again. My name is, why am I doing this? I don't know. Hey everybody, so today we're gonna look at the beautiful collection by Alamar Cosmetics, and if you haven't seen it, it is the Spanglish Palette by Alamar Cosmetics, and I'm so excited to try this out. So, Alamar Cosmetics is honestly one of my favorite brands to buy from. So I know I haven't done really a lot of videos of reviewing new palettes or collections lately, and it's mostly because I've just been a little bit more picky on what I'm buying. But I really am getting into smaller brands, and I really want to try them out. And Alamar Cosmetics is a Latina-owned brand, and I absolutely love that. Love to support a fellow Latina. And we're going to check out her collection today. Now, I love Alamar Cosmetics. The first time I ever tried them, which for a lot of people happened to be in the BoxyCharm, and I still think that is the best thing that I've gotten out of the BoxyCharms I have owned over the years. I have it right here, and I do love that palette a lot. It's a beautiful summer palette. I should have used it more this summer, but when you work night shift, you don't really wear makeup a whole lot. I'm really excited to try this out because, one, I thought the packaging is adorable. I love the idea of this. It's the same kind of concept where she has the cute little light, like little water drops. Oh, I'm showing you the palette now. Cute little water drops that show you which ones to use wet and which ones to keep dry. And these are absolutely beautiful. It is crazy how, honestly, the camera itself can't pick up how like vibrant this stuff really is. It's very, very beautiful. I'm in love with it. I went outside and tried to take some pictures of it for my Instagram page, and and it just didn't do the shimmers justice. This pink is so vibrant. It is like a neon pink, almost flamingo pink is what I want to call it. But these shades here are very beautiful, much more on the more neutral side. I do love the two pops of color as shadow transitions. Does that make sense? I don't know. Honestly, this shimmer right here, Eres un Show, is literally like stunning. I haven't swatched anything, but this is such an eye catcher for me, mostly because I think I'm really into the shade Lavender lately, and of course it kind of goes with the packaging. So I bought this, and I got the whole collection. So you get 3 little brushes right here, and I'm really excited to try this one out. It's supposed to be like a controlled crease brush, and I'm very interested in seeing how this works. I feel like this might be good for trying to pack a shade in your crease, but don't quote me on it. We're gonna try it today, but I don't know if that's really the purpose of it. Then you get a Pigment packer brush, which you always need a good packer brush, so I'm really excited to try this. It's pretty dense, so I'm excited about that. And then this is a detailed diffuser brush right here. Very, very kind of thinly packed, so it's very flexible, and it's small, so I can totally see this be a really good detail, especially like you're just trying to blend out one specific area that maybe didn't like buff out as much as you wanted it to. So I'm excited. And then I got the Pero Primero primer. So adorable. I love this name. It's so cute. I'm like, whoever came up with that name, like, high five, pat on the back, you did great. It's absolutely adorable. But I'm really excited to try this out. Ever since I watched Robert Welsh, okay, I feel like he's done this to a lot of people. But now I'm starting to take primer a little bit more seriously and thinking, okay, maybe I do need to invest in a good primer. I do use the MAC paint pot, but sometimes I feel like it just doesn't look good on my skin. I feel like my skin looks very dry or patchy or just textured. I haven't found a primer that I'm in love with yet, but I do like that one, but I'm very excited to try this. I know that it said it's supposed to be sticky, so I'm kind of interested in seeing this because I've heard that word used for like P. Louise, and some people love it or hate it. So I'm excited to see how this goes. I have an open mind on everything, so I'm very interested to see how this goes. Alright, so let's get into this. I'm so excited. I know I look like a little trash. Like, it's fine. We're gonna get cute in a minute. So on this hand, I swatched the palette. This is with no primer. And I did go over the shades a little bit more on this hand. Predominantly the pink and brown. These were a little bit softer in pigmentation, if that makes sense. So you could build these up, and honestly I like that. I don't think they need to be something that is pow in your face of a pigment like immediately when you put it on, because these are in my mind meaning to be more of a transition shade, and I want my transition shade to be something that's buildable, or else it's just another color, you know what I mean? I don't know. These two shades, the matte ones, Ponte Hyper and Muy Excited, these are way more pigmented on the first swipe, at least with my finger, so I'm very excited. I think they're going to be very punchy on the eye. And then these are the shimmers, and the shimmers are absolutely beautiful. It did take me a little bit to build up Wow. And then Eres un Show is another one who needed a little bit more building. The orange thing, Pero Like, is literally like so pigmented. Like, it's very smooth and it wipes on really easily, like for a swatch. And Tiene Swing is pretty good too. So I was curious, okay, put the primer on my other hand to swatch, and when I put it on, it was nice to actually kind of feel the consistency. It is definitely sticky, but in a way where it's actually not that sticky. I could see where that wax ingredient kind of, like, you know, you had to move it. It wasn't like super easy to glide around on your hand, but I could feel that as I was moving it around, it was starting to almost kind of set. And when it set, it had that sticky texture. So with that, I swatched the eyeshadows on it, and there was a big difference. Like, I feel like you can definitely see it with the last two shades down here. Eres un Show went on beautifully. It went on in one swipe. It looked amazing, just like that. And really, you could see it with the shade Wow. It's literally big difference from when I went to swatch it over here. Like, big difference. The color's almost different. There's way more metallic that you can see in this shade than you could without the primer. I'm gonna move in for just a moment. So, like, I feel like you can see it with Eres un Show and Wow. You literally can see how the primer made a big difference with those two shades. The top shade, the orange, Pero Like, is honestly the same. And Tiene Swing still looks really good, but I saw a huge difference on these two, and I saw a bigger difference on these two as well. They went on a little bit more pigmented, as you can see, and these shades just popped even more. But honestly, these shades and these shades right here, I feel like you don't necessarily need a primer, but what shades really benefit from the primer, and I guess the adhesion that it carries, is the two kind of transition shades I was talking about, and then those two shimmers. But other than that, I think the color story is really pretty. I like it a lot. And another thing I noticed was after I had the primer on my eye for a little bit, the stickiness did go away. Like, I'm kind of feeling it, and it's like slightly tacky, but not really. Not like how it was at the beginning. So the tackiness does kind of go away. But let's go ahead and get into it. It does have a slight tint, but I'm gonna still put some concealer on because your girl's got some veiny eyes. Anyway, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little bit of concealer on because I need it. I don't think any primer in the world would be able to really cover up my veiny eyes. So let's go in with the primer. Put a little on the back of my hand. I don't really know how much or what I should use to put it on my eye, so I'm just gonna use my finger. I mean, you use this all over your eye, right? So actually, I'm gonna do one eye with the pigment, or with the primer. How about that? So we can really see the difference on the eye when it comes to the final look. Let me try this one first. So let's go in with the Alamar Crease Control Brush, and I'm gonna go in the shade IK Cute, and we're gonna put that in the transition, or the crease. This might be really good for when you're trying to do like cut creases, you know? And you really want like a certain pigment, especially the darkest pigment, to kind of be focused where you are. Okay, so I do feel a slight drag on this eye, but I know that's the primer doing the job. So maybe let's just see if I do a lighter hand. There's a bigger sensation of a drag going on this eye than the other eye. Okay, so I'm just going to go in with a fluffy blending brush, and I'm just going to build this up. So now I'm going to go in with a smaller blending brush. I'm going to take Ponte Hyper, which is that really bright pink shade. And I know this is going to pack a punch. So we're going to put it out here on the outer portion of the eye. I'm going to try to keep it as low as possible. I'm trying the little diffuser brush. Try to get a little bit more of a precise application. And then I'm going to go back in the shade IK Cute. And I'm going to use that to soften the edges. We're going to apply it onto the lid. This is a really pretty shade, not gonna lie. Okay. Dang it. I got it in my crease. That's not what I wanted. Okay. I think I'll take Wow too. I think it'd be pretty. I'm just gonna add that pink again. Ponte Hyper. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of setting spray for that Eres un show and see how it applies. Okay, so this is how the eye look is looking so far. It looks a little crazy, I know, but it's just because I really don't have any other makeup on. But I'm just trying to soften out my edge over here. Yeah, so to fix this little harshness I've got going on, I'm taking the IK Cute shade to help kind of soften it as much as I can. I wouldn't say there's a huge difference, but I feel like there is a slight difference on eye application, like how vibrant the eyeshadow is. I'm just going to brush my brows up. We're going to put a little foundation on. Wow, okay, yeah, this is getting cute. So now we're going to take the shade IK Cute, and I want to put this underneath my eye. And then I'm putting a little Ponte Hyper. And while we're at it, like, let's just go ahead and do this for funsies. I'm going to take Wow and then put that on the lower lash, but I'm going to use the little flat packing brush. I don't know the name of this, but it's from Alamar as well. And I'm going to put it down here. This is cute. Alright, so I'll just be back and I'm going to do the rest of my face makeup and then I'll be right back. I repeated that one too many times. You get what I'm saying. I'm feeling cute. Oh my gosh, so this is the final look. I love it. It looks so good. This is so pretty. I'm in love. Can't wait to play with this palette again. It's so vibrant and so pretty. I don't know what to say. I'm at a loss for words. So I was thinking about doing falsies, but again, you guys know I always think about it and then I end up not doing it because I'm just content with the way my lashes look right now. So I can imagine with the lashes, this would look really, really cool, like really bold and pretty and everything, but I'm just gonna leave it this way. You know what? My patients are gonna have to just deal with this because I was gonna take it off after this video, but like, I'm not doing that now. It's staying on. She's not going anywhere. But anyway, so I guess final thoughts on my first impression. That sounds like an oxymoron. Anyway, so for the palette, I think the shades are really beautiful. I'm going to keep playing with them because obviously just this one interaction can't sum up exactly how I feel for this palette completely. Although the purple shades are really pretty. When you do wet them, they look a little bit more smoother. They don't have so much of a texture to them. But I feel like it kind of, it calms down the shine. Like it makes it more of a satin finish, if that makes sense. Like here's a close-up of the final eye look, and as you can see, and I feel like the eyeshadow looks more smoother now that, or more smooth. Vivian, like, you are horrible at English. Anyway, kind of have a more satin effect, which I'm down for. I totally like that. If you're wanting to go for the more sparkly, like more textured look, then I wouldn't probably use this wet. But the packer brush did a good job at applying it. I definitely noticed that this stuck way better than it did without the primer. If I had to pick a side that I like, it's kind of hard because I feel like my eyes always look a little different just due to the fact that this hand is over here and then this hand's over here, you know. I'd say I like how vibrant and how I feel like there's more depth on this side than there is on this side. But overall, I mean, you can look at my eyes and I don't think that you can see a major difference on which side had primer and which one didn't. As for the primer, it is a bit more on the sticky side, which is what it says it does. So if you don't like sticky, then don't get this because it literally says long wear sticky pigment base. So this was to end up being long wearing. I'm gonna wear it to work. I work a 10-hour shift in a truck, so we're gonna see what happens when I'm hot and sweaty and I have a face shield and an N95 on and all that jazz. I think the primer is very interesting. I'm gonna keep playing with it, but I'm not mad at the primer. I'm really not. Like, I expected it to feel that way and it did, and it wasn't bad. I think it's one of those primers that you just need to keep practicing and playing around with it to see how you really feel about it. I can't wait to try this shade and these. I know I'm gonna be very happy with those shades. I wanted to try the purples and the pinks because I feel like, one, those are more vibrant. Two, I feel like those are a little bit harder to get made right. You know what I'm saying? I feel like orange, browns, and kind of your reds are one of the simpler eyeshadows. Like, they're easier. Like, they're not, like, you can't really mess them up. I don't know, like, formula wise. I don't know if that makes sense. So I'm pretty happy with these. I definitely would recommend to use a primer with these two shades though, even if you don't use the one that is provided by Alamar. I think they just come on a lot better with the primer than they do without. That's the only like major thing I would say is for a primer, but you could use like NYX glitter glue. There's plenty of other primers out there that you could use that have a sticky base to them for you to kind of get the same effect. As for the brushes, they felt nice. The handles, like the handle of the brush is lightweight, so I appreciate that, mostly because since I've injured my hand, I have a lot of pain when I twist it, and usually, and when things are at a certain weight and I've used them for so long and then I'm turning my hand this way, it really hurts, and I hate that. It like it won't go away, I don't think, so it kind of sucks. But I'm just more conscious now of how heavy things are that I'm holding and for how long and at what angle I'm holding them. So I do appreciate them being lightweight. I could see some people being like, those lightweight handles, like, they feel cheap. I'm like, no, they don't. They look really nice. They're beautiful. I love how they have the description of the brush on there, so if you want to know what it is or you can't remember what it's used for, you can see it right there. That crease brush that looks like a fan, I need to play with that a little bit more because I don't really know how to use it, but it's definitely a different experience for sure. Different from a buffing brush for sure, but I'm happy with everything. I love the look, love it a lot. I love Alamar Cosmetics, so I knew I was going to like this palette anyway. And you know, it's funny, I looked at this and I was like, oh, this is going to be a really great winter palette because of the shades like right here and stuff, and I'm realizing, oh, this is a lot more vibrant in person than it is on camera. So it is definitely more vibrant, letting you know that for sure. And I'm really excited. So excited. Okay, well that's all I really have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, especially if you made it this far in the video. Like, you're a real one. Thank you. So I'm gonna see you guys in my next video. Anyway, I gotta go to Wally World. So I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye.